Hello, my name's Christopher Layer, and I'm the Artist-In-Residence for the Moab Music Festival. I'm looking forward to my visit to your school. In the next couple of weeks, you'll be studying a little bit of history in preparation for your trip to Boston, and Mr. Morrill asked if I would do a little bit of a program to talk a little bit about some of the music of the colonial era, including music on this instrument right here. This little instrument is called a fife, F-I-F-E. It has 6 holes, and you put your fingers over the holes like that, and you actually blow across the hole here like you would across the top of a pop bottle to get the sound. So, right, so that is the very simple instrument, the fife. It's actually a woodwind instrument, a kind of a flute, such as you might hear. Most often you'd hear this with a group of other fife players. 2, 3, 4. And another instrument, which is a percussion instrument called the drum. And a side drum, which is a drum that hangs on your shoulder and you can walk and march and play with it. Fife and drum music was very much a part of the colonial history of music here in the United States. During the earliest days of the colonies, and even before that, fifes and drums were used to carry signals over long distances in times of war. So a soldier, for instance, might wake up in the morning to the sound of the fife. There's a tune called Reveille, which is used, right? And that would also be played not only on the fife, but another musical instrument from the time of the colonial era that was common, especially if you were a part of the cavalry or the group of soldiers that rode horses during the American Revolution. And that was called the bugle. And the reason you use the bugle with the cavalry is because you could hold your bugle with one hand and you could hold your horse with the other. So there you go. There were other instruments associated with the American Revolution and with the Continental Line and the British soldiers as well. The great Highland bagpipe from Scotland was a part of the music of the American Revolution, or something that someone during colonial times might have heard, for instance, on the streets of Boston, where I understand that you'll be making a visit. Well, the sound of the fife and drum and the bagpipe can still be heard today. There are fife and drum corps and bagpipe bands here in the United States that are very common, and they celebrate this great old historical instrument. In addition to instrumental music, or music played on the fife or the drum or the violin or such as that, there were also songs. I'll sing you just a little bit of a very, very old colonial song that comes from the time of the American Revolution, and it's all about tyrants and slavery and being free, and it's called Chester. It was written by William Billings in the 18th century, and until the Star-Spangled Banner was made our official national anthem, the song Chester was a part of the very earliest history of the United States, of the 13 colonies. Chester was the unofficial national anthem. And I'll sing just a little. I'm not much of a singer, but I'll sing a little bit for you now. Let tyrants shake their iron rods, and slavery clank her galling chains. We fear them not, we trust in God, New England's God forever reigns. So there you go. There's a little bit of a very old song. Now, I played a little bit of a tune that I bet you recognized early in the film called Yankee Doodle. And Yankee Doodle was originally an English song that was used to make fun of the American Yankees. But in a later time, during the Revolution, the American Yankees took those, that melody and that little song, and they turned it around, and when I come to see you, I'll sing you a sort of an interesting or funny version of Yankee Doodle, where the Americans sort of make fun of the English a little bit. So I think that's a good way to handle people who want to be negative, is to take it and sort of turn their words around and let them be who they want to be. But the Americans wanted to be free, and so they took that song that kind of made fun of them, and they made it their very own. And I think that's it. That's sort of like, I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say to me bounces off me and sticks to you. Something like that. I think that's what we used to say. Anyway, I'll finish up with a little bit of a tune on the fife, and I look forward to seeing you at HMK School in Moab, Utah. Until then, enjoy yourselves, and I hope you like the music. Here we go.